Ta-da! That was like a 2-3 minute fix to sort that out, and I am so pleased with it. I think I might suggest on the pattern that you could do this in a bigger hook so that it doesn't pull in, but I quite like the pull in. It looks so good. I know you can't see much of it because I'm not lifting you high enough, but there we go. It just looks amazing. I'm really, really pleased with it, especially when I hold it up, but again, I could do with a tripod for that. There you go, that's got some lift. I'm really, really pleased with this. So I'm just going to rip this bit back, and then I'm going to rip back the second sleeve, and I'm then going to focus on getting this sleeve done. So I will check in with you in a little bit. I'm not going to time lapse because I'm watching YouTube on my phone. I'll time lapse a bit later on when I'm watching on my Mac to free up my phone. And I'm also going to sort out this because it's really hard to appreciate the finished design when it's covered in ends. So I'm actually going to take a few minutes and sew those in as I go along as well. Okie dokie, it's time to get making. Ooh, let's just check if any of these squares, my sushi rolls, can go straight in. So I have wrapped the join bit, the join section of the pink on so that it wouldn't get tangled. So I've got green, yellow, white, which could go on any of them. Score, then that colour has not been used, so that's fine. That orange has, and that sparkly pink has. Oh, right, so that one could go there at the back and be fine, though I'm not that keen on that coral touching that, but because of the curve I would allow it. And that's got bright pink and turquoise, and this is orange, pink and lilac. So maybe that one could go there at the back. Then this, has that got white in it? That could go here, and this one could go there. Yeah boy, I got my second round, so I'm just going to add those together and crack on. See you soon. Okay tribe, I have done some serious frogging. I have taken off that sleeve entirely, the meshing on the front and the dip back, and then here I had added on a sleeve, like the first panel, and then I just wasn't happy with it because the colours were clashing, and I've worked so hard within this to keep it so that it doesn't clash. They are two different pinks, FYI, and I really wanted to continue that and just have an even distribution of colour. So I've taken them all off, and what I'm actually going to do is work the sleeve in an actual panel, so it will be 3 squares long by 3 squares wide, and I'm going to make it in like a big, well, it will be, I'll still make it in a tube so I don't have to seam up here, but it just means that I can, before I attach it on here, I'll sew all of the ends in just to make it a little bit easier and a bit more manageable. So I've just laid the top out again. What is that? I've laid the top out again for you to see, and then just my tubs. So this is the ends that are ever growing, and then in here I've got some of the granny squares I've been working on. It's my sunflower propaganda. I don't think propaganda is the right word, Heather. Propagator. Oh dear. Tonsillitis brain. Back to the job in hand. Here are some of the squares that I've taken apart. Now I've got 2 sets of 3 there, so I would just need another ring, but I'm actually going to take all that apart and mix them all up. I do have enough squares here to make an entire sleeve, so I'm going to rearrange them, get it attached on to this side like so, all the ends sewn in, and then try and put that mesh back on before I call it a night tonight. And then tomorrow, Sunday, I will put the mesh on there and work on that sleeve, and then it will just be the hem and the ends of the sleeves to work on. So it's about, I think it's something to 5. I've done all of my food apart from what's in the oven finishing off. I've just put a film on. I'm going to watch The Bucket List. I've never seen it before, despite being my DVD collection for God knows how long. So I've relocated from my little spot in the conservatory, which is where I'm stood now, and I'm going to go in the lounge so I can watch the TV. So I will probably record once I pack up for the night, or I'm ready to pack up for the night rather, just to check in with you again. Yeah, this is what it looks like so far. This is what we're working with. I can't wait to show you the next steps. Okie dokie then, peace, peace, peace. Hey tribe, I am back with an update. So, as you can see, I have made so much progress. Last time I was recording, just to remind myself, I was ripping back this bit, and that bit, because I wanted to change the way I'd set this up. So I've gone from 1 row of single crochet to 2 rows of single crochet into the mesh pattern that I've done, and then a row of single crochets again. And I ripped this back so that I could do the double row as well to match, and then that is now in place on the back as well. I'm absolutely loving the colours, and it's been a really enjoyable project and really quite quick too. Now my next stage is to join the sleeves. Both sleeves are here, they're inside out and ready to be joined. I just need to turn this inside out. Then after the sleeves have been joined onto the body, I have got some sort of edging to do. So let me move this up. Along here I want to do some sort of edging, and I've not decided whether to just edge it all in the pink and be done with it, or continue this pattern along the bottom. So what I'm going to do before I decide is I'm going to try the body of the jumper on, and then see where it sits. But let me just pan back a bit so you can see that sleeve in situ. Put this one on. Now I'm not saying that sleeve is being attached to that because I don't want the colours to rub, but oh, I just love it. So I've turned these inside out, and turn that inside out, and I am going to I think I decided on yep, I single crocheted it together. I didn't like the seam, but it looked more sightly on the outside than slip stitching it. So let me just show you some of the colours. We've got all of these yellows, pinks, a pop of turquoise, hints of green, a darker plum purple, Tiffany colour, duck egg blue, orange, glitters in there. So there's a glitter white, a glitter pink, that's a peach, and that's coral. There's another glitter pink, or did I show you that one? There is another glitter pink. Here we go. See? So I'm going to get that attached, try it on, and decide on the detailing. Part of me says no on the detailing at the bottom because I want to make a matching skirt, and so I kind of see it in my head that all the detailing will be on the top of the top and all the detailing will be on the bottom chunk of the skirt, but we'll see. I'm going to get this sewn up now. Really thought I would have had it done today, and I am so close now. So I'm going to get the sleeves on, get rid of all of these ends. I'm really pleased with myself because I have sewn the ends as I've gone. There's just some of the outer pink ones that I haven't done. And let me turn this over so you get a good view, because you can really appreciate the back now. Again, a few edging ends, but look at that drop. I'm loving it. It perhaps isn't as low as I maybe envisaged. So there's always the possibility that I'll do another one and I won't have these squares and really deepen it. I had considered going back and taking them out, but I'm happy with this. I know how I could maybe do a variation. So stop gas bagging, time to get sewing. Tribe, tribe, tribe. I have sewn on the sleeves and the neck's all in place. And I just tried it on, and what I said earlier about maybe it should be one row less, I'm going to dismantle the entire thing. Oh my goodness. Because I want to take off an entire row, which means I'm going to need to undo every single seam. So the side seams, this seam, take all of this off. The shoulder seams need to come undone. I need to take all of this off. I'm also then going to take off these two triangles, and then I'm going to take off this row because I worked from the bottom up. If I take this row off, there would be it's going to impact on these because I attached this square onto this one, so it needs to come off from up here. Then I'm going to have to put those triangles onto here. I'm going to have to rejig because of the colours. So that one I will not be using next to that. Maybe I could swap them around. Yes, so those two will need flipping. Then I will have to, on the back, I'm going to need to take off an entire row, and I sigh as I say that because the back's going to be so much more difficult. The back is going to be a pain in the butt because I did these two rows and then I did up the sides. Did I? I don't remember. Yeah, definitely went top, bottom, up. So yes, I'm going to then take off. Just think about this. I need to take off an entire row, so I could take off that square and that square, and then I'd need to take out these two squares. Then I'm going to have to sew the entire thing back together. Side seams, put all of this on, put all of this on, put all of this on. Because there's nothing wrong with it being full size, and when the pattern's released people can alter the length by adding on rows of squares, but I really like wearing my jumpers cropped. and I just tried it on with a skirt, and I wear high-waisted skirts, high-waisted jeans, and so for my body type it needs to just be the row higher just to sit more. This hem would then sit pretty much, my belly button would be here, and then by the time I've added on a little bit at the bottom of this detailing, it will sit where I want it to sit. So I'm not even frustrated, I'm just kind of resigned to it. I know that in order to be happy with the design, I want to take a row off for me to wear it. I know that if I leave it as it is, although it'll be a nice jumper, I just don't feel like it will have the desired fit. And there's nothing wrong in the measurements, because I did initially design this to be a jumper that hit me at the hips, but I've decided for this design and this style I would prefer to wear it cropped. Just a little bit like, oh, because it's a lot to undo. I've sewn all the ends in. I could sew the ends in on this and it'd be a complete jumper, but no, I know what I want, I know what I'm working towards. That's the beauty of making your own clothes, you make them to fit yourself. I think I will just bear this in mind next time I'm crocheting, that if I'm making something like this, to maybe start top down, or I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't really matter if this had a full back, it wouldn't matter so much because I wouldn't have to take these out, but it doesn't. So anyway, learning. My only other than slight concern is the shoulder seams. I think when I crocheted that square, I crocheted it onto that one. So today is Wednesday, the 5th or 6th of March. I think it's the 6th. So I know my weekend is going to be dismantling this to put it all back together again, which is a little bit like, oh, that's not quite crochet time. And normally, I'm not gonna lie, I would just put this away and start another project, but that's why the granny square jumper isn't done. So I think my morning crochet time, because I crochet every morning before I start my day, won't be crochet time, it'll be dismantling time. But the quicker I get that done, the quicker I can get on to the crochet. So the good news is all my parts are here, so my sleeves are done. I've got the yarn for the neckline, for the sleeves. So once I've took the row out, everything can go back. So when I take this off, I will attach this yarn that I've used under here and put it to one side, and I will just label. I'm going to find a way to label this one being the right sleeve and that one being the left sleeve, although once I've took a square out it might all have to change anyway, but as long as I leave all of this attached to that, it's fine. I will ball that up. I suppose it's kind of good because I need to weigh how much this is for the pattern. I can make sure I take photos when I'm doing it for when I release the pattern. I'm digging really hard for the silver lining in this. But when I tried it on and I flipped this up, it just looked so much better on me, and that's because I want it to fit my body shape. Other girls, you might prefer it longer, and that's fine, because it's up to you. You make your own clothes, so you can add on. If you wanted this to be 3/4 length, you can do. You just keep adding squares on. But I'm going for cropped, so that means I need to suck it up, and I'm going to undo the entire thing. Before I do dismantle it, I think I'm going to put it on a hanger and just get a few pictures to show. I just feel like I need to really prove that I have done this and that I'm taking it apart for the... I'm taking this off for the 3rd time. Oh dear. Okay. I'm going to tidy up and I'm going to head to bed for the evening and do some reading, and then in the morning I'm going to take this apart. So say goodbye for now. Goodbye for now. And I'll check in with you soon. So Darcy and I are in bed and I'm just about to get ready so I can go to sleep. And I've got this up here with me because I'm gonna take it back in the morning when I wake up. And you come up with there, Dib. I wanted to just do a couple more minutes just to say that although I've frogged it 3 times and it still isn't finished, I was just looking back through some of the videos that I'd taken, and the first videos of me working on this was actually last Thursday, which is a week ago. And I've been sick in that time, so I've been sleeping loads, napping loads. Darcy's been sick and we've been to the vets, and then I've been back to work for 2 days this week as well. So I have boxed off a lot in a very short space of time. So once this pattern is set up and ready to go, I imagine I could just churn out one really quickly, which does make me want to find a pattern that already exists just to follow and just get it done super quick. So yeah, I was just checking in to say, can you believe that in a week, such a short period of time, I have managed to put all of these squares together. I've sewn in all the ends other than the ones on the very edge. I've done this detailing, I've done the sleeves, and I frogged it 3 times and I'm about to frog it again. So yeah, I'm just really impressed with how much I've actually got done, how much I've learned in such a small space of time, and how much footage I've took for you guys, which I'm glad I have done, because looking back over the videos I'd completely forgotten that I'd gone about the sleeves in a totally different way before I took a break from it. What I did was, if I need to mull something over, I walk the dog, or I have a shower, or I have a bath, or I journal. And I went and had a shower and I did a really quick tidy up, because I don't know about you, but when I'm off ill, the house just seems to get really cluttered around me, even though I've not done anything. And so I just put my room back to what I call factory settings, so back to how it should be. And I went in the shower, and whilst I was in there having a good scrub, I was thinking about how I wanted this to look, and the image of the mesh came to me, and that I wanted it across here. And before that I was trying to attach the sleeve straight onto this, and I was getting frustrated to try and make it fit, whereas because I've done this mesh I can reduce it down to 3 squares and they fit really well. So yeah, the pattern itself has evolved in the short space of time I've been working on it, and I have done so much. So I'm looking forward to getting this taken back so that I could put it back together, minus the extra row. And what am I going to do with the extra squares? I've got to do something with them. So yes, I'm going to stop rambling, get myself ready for bed and sleep, because I'm still feeling a little bit pooped. So from me and Dobby, good night, tribe. Hey tribe! So about a week's passed since I last vlogged on this little project of mine, and as you can see, it's now cropped. I've took out an entire row, and I've put back the neck detailing and the arm detailing, ready to add the sleeves. Let me just flip it for you. Now I've had a few comments that from those that have seen me working on it at the church that this looks incredibly small, but I assure you I wear my clothes cropped, and this at the moment hits me at about the waistband of my high-waisted jeans, and I'm really pleased with it so far. I was debating slightly different in that on the previous model, well, the previous version, the triangles were a row lower, whereas here they're actually going into the shoulder seam, which means that the front is just a little bit higher, but when I tried it on it still looked pretty decent, so I'm sticking with it. I just need to sew the side seams, which at the moment I've just got scrap yarn holding it together. But the reason I'm showing you this right now is I'm about to do a little bit more frogging. So let me just straighten this up so you can see it a bit better. Right, it's a really sunny day, so you're getting glare. You see this bit here? I'm going to take it back and decrease in the corners because of that gape. It's on both sides and I want it to sit flat. So I'm going to take out a few stitches. I'm going to take out on this row of single crochet here. I'm going to take out, I don't know, maybe 4 stitches on each round, just so that this bit here, come on focus, sits flat. Then I'm going to put the sleeves on, I'm going to sew the sides up, I've got the ends to finish off, and I've got to decide on the edging, and then this little project is done deal. Oh, and not forgetting the ribbon. And then this will be ready to wear on Easter Sunday. So it's March the 20th today, and I've got over a month to Easter Sunday, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm not worried at all. Yeah, I am really pleased I took back that row. I was dragging my feet in terms of taking it all apart. I visited my cousin on Sunday, had food there with her, and then after we'd eaten I started taking it apart whilst we watched a film, Venom. Love a bit of Marvel. I came home and I had taken it all apart, as in all of the panels apart, and I was removing the squares that needed to go. I actually completely reconstructed the back panel, so the front panel I just took off the triangles and took off an entire row, and the shoulder panel, and then I reattached them to this. I did have to redo those so that there would be colours that would match, but the back panel I completely destructured. I took apart every single square. I think I just had those 2 squares attached together. I added those 2 on, those 2 and those 2 from what I had taken off, and I've now got quite a few squares left over, so they need to go into some sort of project. But anyway, I'm going to have a play with this, and then I'm going to sew the ends up, put the sleeves on, and see how I'm doing for time today. So catch you on the next section. Peace. Okay tribe, it's just taking back this bit as I said I would to fix it. Then just realised that this side was stretching a lot more than the other side, and I thought, oh, maybe my hook size is out or something like that, because the squares don't seem to match up. Yeah, they don't match up because there's 5 on the front and 4 on the back. No! Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, So that now means I need to take back, that needs to come off, that needs to come off, that needs to come off. I then need to take back one side here, add on another square up here and up there, which then means the back will be 3 squares wide. If I do that, I then feel like the back's going to be entirely too wide for my body. What a pain in the butt. Unless I take off a row on the front, or I leave it and sew it up because it will be a tighter fit on the back, and I did like the way it fitted previously. Oh my goodness, what a clanger. So now I'm just frustrated. Started biting my nails. What I'm going to do is get myself a glass of water and a snack, and I'm going to take this upstairs to try it on in front of my mirror, see how it fits, see if I think it will benefit from the added row here. In terms of this bit sitting flat, it would be easier if I just did 2 rounds of the chain mesh. Oh my goodness. I look back at the old videos and there's 4 squares on the back regardless, so I know that when I did put this together previously I was happy with the fit. I'm going to just put a bit more yarn on the sides just to anchor it a bit better. I'm going to try it on and I'll get back to you with what I decide that I need to do. I thought I was on the home straight, and then the thought that I've got to take this apart again. It's just a little bit too much right now. Okay, let's see what happens.